right, thank you for tuning in. This is Comcat's series at Augusta University in the communication major. This is for Podcasting Com 3040. Thank you for tuning in to Discussta, where we spotlight students and student-led organizations. Today I'm your host, Brandon.
And I'm Tristan.
And we've also got our producer, Nick, and our editor, Andrew, as well. Great team. And today who we have with us is the president of BCM, Morgan Brantley. Thank you for joining us, Morgan.
What's up? Thanks for having me.
Just to get started, how long have you been at Augusta University?
This year will be 5 years, so I took in total a year off, so I'm a 5-year student.
Gotcha. And what's your major?
Kinesiology with a focus in exercise sports science.
Nice. And how'd you land on that?
I always loved sports and like rehab growing up. In my senior year of high school, I dislocated my knee and tore a ligament, and so I had to go to rehab for that. And I just fell in love with it, so I was like, I guess I'll just do that.
Nice. So by injury, you were like, okay.
This is what I'm supposed to do.
If this ever happens again, I'm going to know exactly what to do.
That's right.
It's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know a lot of kinesiology majors, and they seem to really like it.
Yeah,
so
it's fun.
How is that major? Is it tough or anything? I mean, I imagine it's like along the same lines as like biology or something like that, where you have to memorize a bunch of stuff. Yeah,
it's a lot of memorization, a lot of anatomy. Anatomy's pretty hard here at AU. The anatomy professors are very top-notch. I'm in my like hardcore major classes right now, and it's hard, but it's fun. I think when you're doing what you want to do, you enjoy it, so it doesn't really matter in the long run.
Yeah, as long as you enjoy it. That's right.
That's super stoked. So what exactly is the BCM?
So
what does that stand for?
Yeah, the Baptist Collegiate Ministry.
Okay, cool. And what is it? Like, what do you do here?
So our goal is our mission is to glorify God by engaging students with the gospel. And we want to get students involved in healthy local churches. So we tell people every week, and I'm sure they're sick of me telling them this, but we're not the church. We're not there to replace it, but we're there to help you get to that point, and just help serve others in our community as well.
Nice.
So how did you get involved in BCM?
Yeah, so I grew up, since I was 16, I've been at Crawford Avenue Baptist Church in Harrisburg, like 5 minutes down the road. And Jesse Holmes, who is our campus minister, started coming in there right when I was getting into college. And so I showed up one day, and I've been involved ever since. It was just a one and done kind of thing.
So through that church, you're able to find BCM. So is BCM connected with the Crawford Church?
Yes. So all of the campus ministers and actually a lot of us students who are involved in BCM go to Crawford. So it's just one big happy family, honestly.
Nice. Yeah. And how long have you been going to Crawford?
Since I was 16, so 6 years.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So you made it sound like you haven't lived here before, like all your life. So where, like, did you move over here? Was Augusta like the next stop, or do you plan on having Augusta be the final stop?
Oh, gosh, I don't know. So I grew up in Waynesboro, so that's like 45 minutes away from here. Really small town out in the country, and the only thing closest to there was Augusta. So my family moved away from my dad's job about 2 years ago, so I moved in with my grandparents in Hepzibah. So just been here ever since. Not really sure where the Lord's going to take me, but I'm open to travel and go wherever I need to be for career, stuff like that.
Nice. Do you have like a big family?
Yes, I have a very big family. My household, there's 5 kids, and the youngest one just turned 6. So there's a lot of vast ages between all of us siblings. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a similar. My dad got remarried, so I have 2 little siblings.
Okay.
One 8 and one turns 5.
Yeah.
Soon. So I understand.
Yeah, it's fun. I wouldn't trade it. I love it.
Oh, I love my siblings to death. How did you become president, and what exactly does that position entail?
Ever since I got involved in BCM, I've been involved with leadership in some type of capacity. So I started off as the women's discipleship leader with another girl, did that. I was on worship team also all those years. Then I was worship leader and just helped in different ways. It kind of fell into my lap. So last year we had about 10 or 11 people graduate from the AU who were our main leadership team and the BCM as a whole. So it was kind of left up to me to do it, but also they were moving towards that direction anyway if they hadn't graduated. So basically I just make sure that we're signed up for events, engaging with the community, making sure people are doing what they're supposed to do. Basic leader, president things.
Nice, yeah. And you said that you had some different positions before as well. So how would you say that those positions as like a discipleship leader compared to being the president?
It's a lot different. I feel like it's been fun to connect with people as president, but also different. So as the discipleship leader, I was charged with the task to make sure people were being discipled by others, cared for by others, but I was also supposed to care for a couple people intentionally as well. So meeting up with them every week, checking in on how life's going, how reading the word's been, what's their relationship with the Lord look like. So I still do that in some type of way, just not with just women.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you've mentioned that word discipleship a little bit. So what, just to help out with the listeners at home who might not know what that is, what exactly is discipleship?
Yeah, so in the Bible, we see that Jesus has 12 disciples, and basically they followed him around and just did his work with him. And he calls us to go and make disciples of all nations, teaching them his word and such things. And so as a believer, you are called to take people under your wing who maybe know a little bit less than you, and just guide them and show them what they need to know. So just basically kind of being like a big sibling or a parent to them in the faith.
Nice. And with that, do you think that like helped a lot with your preparation and becoming a president, like looking after and caring for people?
Yeah, for sure. I learned so much doing that, just learning how to be gracious with people, how to be stern, just learning how to do different things and just reacting to people. I think it's helped me get to where I am for sure.
Yeah, and you also mentioned worship. So I'm guessing you play an instrument, right?
Yeah, so I play guitar, play a few other instruments as well, but that's the main one that I play in terms of worship and stuff. So worship and lead songs and vocals as well.
Would you say that you have like a favorite song that you like to lead worship with, or a favorite song in general, I guess?
Oh, gosh, I don't know. I love music. For worship, I would probably say Be Thou My Vision. It's just basically a Christian's battle cry for the Lord to be your everything and anything. And I think it's just a good reminder.
Yeah, absolutely. So with being president, is it just you, or is it kind of like you have your own cabinet of people as well?
Yeah, it has been this year. Like I said before, so many people graduated and left. So it's been just me and maybe like 8 other people, and we're finally getting to a point where we're starting to raise up freshmen to take on responsibility. But in the past, when BCM was huge, it was kind of like your own cabinet. We had people doing president things, vice president, worship, service and outreach, evangelism, things like that.
And with that outreach, how do you guys specifically do that? What does outreach look like for you guys for finding new people to come in that nature? Yeah,
so we partner with a lot of local churches. Specifically, we do some other denominations, but specifically Baptist churches. So we'll do car washes for free sometimes, just to engage with the community, go clean up yards in the neighborhood, different things like that. Well, next week, on Tuesday, actually, we'll be giving out free food. UNG BCM is coming down to town for their spring break, and we're partnering, and we're going to give out free food on campus. So if y'all are hungry on Tuesday, come and find us.
Very nice. And with that outreach and doing stuff in the community here at Augusta, how do you feel like BCM or even your position in BCM is affecting Augusta as a whole?
Yeah, I think it's very important. As Christians, we're called to love others as ourselves. And, you know, in society today, not everybody believes the same thing, right? But if you are consistent with your actions and showing others that you care, even if they don't believe what you believe in, they're going to see that your heart's genuine. So that means a lot to us, just to love on others. Even if they don't like what we're doing, just being giving shows a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. So with being president,
yeah,
is there anything that you hope to achieve in your time as being the leader?
Yeah, I think just seeing one person either come to know Christ or just one person getting involved in a healthy local church. It's not about numbers to me personally. I think just seeing somebody grow, just one person would mean a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. And speaking of numbers, of course, the numbers don't matter at all. But how many would you say come to BCM on a regular basis?
Right now, we have a solid, I would say about 22, and that's actually grown this semester by like 10 or 12. So we had somebody come in partnership with us this semester, and he has just brought a lot of people on, and that's been really great. So probably about 20, 22.
Nice. And that's a partnership that you have with another local church in the area?
Sort of. So he is about to plant a church. So he's helping us alongside while he's in the middle of doing that. So people from his former church are coming as well. It's a whole mix of people.
Nice. Very nice. And what would just a regular night of BCM look like? What's the schedule or the itinerary, I guess?
Yeah, so we call it the gathering. So we gather in Washington Hall Towers at 6:30 p.m. So we'll usually eat dinner, have some snacks, hang out, have a good time. We'll start with prayer. We'll have worship. So we'll sing 1 or 2 songs, pray again, have some announcements, and then we will dive into the word. Right now we've been going through the parables of Jesus, and that's just been a really sweet time. So we'll do that and then pray, and we'll all hang out. Right now we've been going to the game night room or whatever it's called in the JSAC, so that's been super fun, going and having fun playing pool and stuff. Nice.
And with this teaching that's going on with the different parables, is there one that's stuck out to you?
Probably the reaper and the sower. That one goes along with discipleship as well. Just thinking about those things and what you're called to do, and you reap what you sow. I'd say that one was like 2 months ago. So, but that would probably be the biggest one, yeah.
Nice. And you guys mentioned that you have dinner as well. Is there like a set dinner every week? Is it like, all right, chicken nuggets, fries, or hamburgers, hot dogs, whatever it is?
It's usually stuff like that. We try to have a schedule. So we'll have like pizza. Last night we had chicken Alfredo and breadsticks. We try to switch it up because like y'all are in college. Sometimes it's hard to come across some good food, and you'll take what you can get. So we try to give variety. So stuff like that. Nothing too fancy, but not always pizza.
That's true. And is there like a specific person in the team that like does that, like does the cooking?
Yeah, it's been Jordan Trahan. So he is also one of our campus ministers as well. He's been taking on the lead for cooking, and he's done a great job.
Nice.
Busy man, but still Chef Trahan still manages to feed us with all he's doing.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, feeding people I know can be quite the task.
Yeah.
So how so with BCM, is there like anything that affects like outside of the ministry, like in your personal life, like the way you go to school or the way you operate during a job? Is there anything that it does for that?
Yeah, I think it definitely helps give you reminders of how you're supposed to act and treat others. It's really easy to get frustrated with people and even not want to be friends with people that you really don't like. But being in BCM, I've learned how to deal with people that might get on my nerves or who I don't really want to be around. And so the people around me have shown me how to do that. And I've also made some of the best friends I think I'll ever have in my life, long lasting for sure. Just things that I have cultivated with people. You can't beat it. And if it hadn't been for BCM, I wouldn't have those people.
Nice. Yeah, it sounds like BCM has done a lot for you, and you've done a lot through that ministry as well. So that's really awesome. So with all that, and I know that you're a busy college student as well, and I know that being a president can be tough, but continuing on the like outsides, is there like a job that you have?
Yeah, so I work at Trellis Coffee Bar on 1902 Walton Way. We just opened hard launch in November, so I'm just a barista, just a girl serving coffee, but I'm able to engage with people with that job, which is really fun. I keep trying. There's this one guy we work with. I keep trying to get him to come to BCM, and then people that I interact with who also go to school with us. It's good to interact with them there too.
I was just about to ask, is there a lot of AU students that like come in there?
So many. I think it's like mostly medical students, and they'll just camp out there all day, which is great. There's a couple dental students as well, and we all love them to death. So
that's nice. And have you been so through this job, have you been able to make relationships with other people a little bit like what you had said with some people that you work with? What about the people that come in? Have you been able to make relationships with those people that have been, I guess, like AU students that come by?
Yeah, for sure. There's a couple. Are you allowed to name drop on here? Is that a thing?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. There's this one guy. His name's Forrest. He's a dental student. Brandon knows Forrest. Brandon also works there.
That's true.
He's super great. We all love him to death, and just being able to cultivate a relationship in Christ with him. He's a Christian as well. And then a couple other girls who come in, even though they're in other ministries on campus, like Delight Ministries and things like that. It's just good to see them and say, hey.
Nice. And with your job position as barista, is there like a favorite? Is there like different, like of all the different spots that are in there, is there one that sticks out the most that you like to be at?
Yeah, probably hot bar. So that's where you do the hot coffees and the art. And that's probably just because I got to that position. But I love doing all of them. Each one has their own benefits. I would say point of sale, taking orders, that one's fun too, because you get to interact with people the most in that spot.
Mm. And with Trellis, I've spoken a little bit with of course, like the bosses and whatnot, because as you mentioned, I worked there.
Right.
But from what it sounds like, they want Trellis to be, like, if you don't know what a trellis is, it's like the thing. It's like a small piece of wood that you see with a plant, like picture a tomato plant. If there wasn't a trellis there, then it'd fall over because the weight of the tomatoes is too heavy. But the trellis is there to help keep it staying up. And they mentioned that in a way for the community of Harrisburg, that they want the coffee shop trellis to be that for that community, to promote other businesses and allow human flourishing to happen. And with being the president in BCM, how do you see that is has had roots in that, in affecting other people in the community of Harrisburg? Yeah,
a lot. People love coffee. People love people. And I see so many people on campus and from church and the community meeting up to have coffee all the time. Jordan and Jesse were in there today meeting up. Former students meet up all the time. So it's just been great. Like even people who I know who have never met each other at the coffee shop, and now they're friends. So there's just tons of opportunities that come with Trellis.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot's happening at the TCB.
A whole bunch.
Yeah, so with coffee shops and whatnot, there's always going to be a favorite drink.
Right.
So do you have a favorite drink that you either like to enjoy, like drinking or making?
I like a cortado. I think I'm a cortado girl.
Okay.
I used to not. I've had to like refine my palate working there because I grew up in the middle of nowhere and we did not have specialty coffee.
Okay.
We drank Folgers in the mornings. So I've had to learn different things, but I've come to like cortados a lot.
And what exactly is a cortado? Is that one of those like big drinks that they have?
No, it's really small. So it's 2 ounces of espresso. So it's a double shot, and then 2 ounces of milk. So it's about yay big. It's really small, but it packs a punch.
Nice. If you're a math aficionado, that's going to be 4 ounces total.
Yeah, bud.
Very nice. Very nice. So continuing with Trellis, how long have you been working there?
Since November. My first day was actually our hard launch, which was crazy. They put a lot of faith in me to just throw me out to the wolves like that. So about 5 to 6 months, yeah.
Nice, yeah. And I've seen a lot of people walking around with like Trellis shirts, Trellis like coffee cups and whatnot. So it seems like it's a pretty popular spot. With Trellis and being the president of BCM, and again, that being a lot of responsibilities, how does that affect like your work life?
Sometimes being so busy and having other factors, everybody's got stuff outside of school, work, and ministries and stuff. It can be overwhelming at times, and it's really easy to get frustrated. But I'm learning to just time balance. I think that'd just be the hardest thing is time management. Yeah.
And have you worked, like, in comparison to the other jobs that you have, how would you say that Trellis relates to those jobs?
It's been the easiest job I've ever had. I was at Chick-fil-A for almost 3 years, and that was the most stressful job of my life. I learned a lot from Chick-fil-A and a lot of the qualities that I have now, but Trellis has honestly been a breath of fresh air. Like, I just show up and I work. There's no strings attached. Like, I'm just there doing my job.
I understand. That's how I felt when I left my first job
to
get my on-campus job. It was a lot more like not like relaxed because we had to build orientation. I used to be student coordinator for the new student family transitions office. But it is very different from like food industry.
Oh my goodness, yes.
I used to be a recreation aide on post. It's basically, I just ran the cash register and then the gaming counter.
Yeah.
But it was a lot because we had like all the AIT students and like all the like the soldiers and stuff. So
that's mentally taxing, yeah.
Yeah, it was tough. But to bring us back to campus and BCM, so let's say you had any students who were interested, what would they need to know to kind of find you guys?
We have a couple different social media platforms on Instagram. I know us, AUG_BCM. So you can follow us on there. We also have a website, AugustaBCM.com. And then, we have a Facebook as well. That one's not posted on as much, but just follow us on there. If you have questions, DM us, email us, and I'll get you in there somehow.
Nice. And where do you guys meet at?
Washington Hall Towers, Tuesday nights at 6:30.
Very nice. And that's going to be a continual trend?
Forever pretty much until we like grow out of that room.
I gotcha. Very nice. And do you guys have any events coming up? I remember you mentioned that one that you have on Tuesday, but is there anything else?
That's it. We, towards the end of the semester, we'll plan a big party, block party, worship night kind of thing. We usually do that at the end of every semester. But if you keep up with our socials, you'll see what we got going on.
Gotcha. And can you remind us one more time about the time and the location for that event on Tuesday?
This, the food thing?
Yeah.
So I think it is going to be at 2:00 and we should be standing in front of the JSAC where that sidewalk area is, and you should see a grill and some people with smiles on their faces handing out food.
Nice.
Awesome.
Can't miss it. There's a grill.
That's right.
Follow the smoke, I guess.
Yeah, buddy.
Awesome. Well, sweet. Well, that's going to be all of our time today. Morgan, thank you for being here and teaching us a little bit more about BCM and what you guys are and what your position in BCM is.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So this has been Discussta with the Comcats. Again, I am Brandon.
And I'm Tristan.
And we will see you guys later. Disclaimer, the Discussta Podcast is the opinions of the students and the student alone and not affiliated with Augusta University.